The Bay of Bengal, its enchanting waves, a joy forever. The temple of Lord Jagannath in Puri. A great architectural wonder. The Sun Temple at Konark, a landmark in human artistry. Yet beyond these landmarks, the district of Puri enjoys the distinction of being the center of numerous folk and performing arts. We drove some 15 kilometers away from Puri on a sunny summer morning to Raghurajpur to acquaint ourselves with two art forms that coexist here, Gotipoa and Pottochitru. An open-air dance class greeted us at the entrance to the village. Little boys and girls were being trained here by a stout young guru in Gotipua, a typical Odia dance form that combines physical prowess with religious sentiment. Children are brought from the villages and they are trained for at least 2 years before they are enrolled in the troupe. The trainers treat them liberally. They are allowed to keep in touch with their parents and they are sent to regular schools for basic education.
केदिन लेट रहलनी
वर्ष 2 वर्ष ले
आउ से चोता किछ मन पड़े नी
ना
आउ तुम बापा मां के देखरिया क्वेश्चन देखि नहीं
हां आसंते
आउ के कोठी पाठ पढो
ये स्कूल थे हम पाठ पढ
आउ इठी माने तमर कोर्स केबे कंप्लीट हो सेमती किछ नाही
ना
जति दिन लेट रहि परिबो सेमती.
The dance form is regarded as the mother of the Odissi form, an extremely popular semi-classical dance form in India.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
The children are brought from poor rural families for training.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
They live like the Guru's own kin.
7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 आखी 4 5 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
Gotipua schools of dance are spread mainly in 3 places in the district of Puri. Raghurajpur, Dimiri Sena and Konarak. Many views exist about the roots of Gotipua. In ancient times, Mahadis and Devdasis performed it only inside the Jagannath temple. Young boys dressed in female attire replaced them outside the temple. With the slow disappearance of the Devdasi cult, Gotipuas became even more popular. Raghurajpur today is regarded as the main center for this traditional form of performing art. At least 3 schools are run in full swing in this small village. Like almost any other folk art form in India, Gotipua becomes a refuge for the poor. Artisans, young or old, do not and cannot practice the art for the sake of art. Wearing makeup and the gaudy costumes are keys to their survival.
हमारा पैसा अभाव वाला पठैले
आपन को लाभटा कोन हबो
लाभ हेनी आम तो अभाव कथा गरीब लोक लाभ हेनी
पैसा केमती आसुची किए कमाउछंती
ता बापा
कौन करुछंती
चाष काम करती
तो आपण ए छुआ बेलू कहीं एमती पठेले
छुआ शिखिले काम शिखिले पैसा आने
In this case, parents or the family looks forward to the professional success of the boy so that he can earn a decent living. During the training, the family often receives subsidies from the guru on an ad hoc basis.
श्री बंशीधर बेशकु नटनागर बर झुली चालिबा तार सेवांकनय.
We were wondering about the eligibility factor. Guru Lakshman Swine dwelt on it.
कैसे देख के आपको पता चलेगा कि ये रखने के लायक है
आनिकी 15 दिन 10 दिन एमती सब ट्रेनिंग देला परे से आम पाखे शिक्षा कला परे आमे सेटा ऑटोमेटिक जानि परु या पाखे को हेई परिबो कि नाही ए नाचटा यदि हबो ताले हम ताको रखके सिखा दो
ट्रेनिंग क्या
ट्रेनिंग हम लोग देता है जो हमारा एक्सरसाइज पहले उनको सिखा और ताल दिखाता है जिसका पास में ताल नहीं होगा वो तो कुछ नहीं कर सकेगा ना.
Historically, there is no reference to this dance form before the 17th century. According to one school of thought, it originated during the reign of King Prataparudra. Another opinion holds that the dance form came into being during the reign of King Ramchandra in the later half of the 16th century. The Vaishnavas played a dominant role in the society of that time. They had insisted that boys would perform and women would never do so in the pretext of worship. The village of Dimiri Sena, situated some 30-odd miles from Puri, was the first centre for Gotipua. From the early part of the 20th century, gurus like Chandrasekhar Patnaik and Ananta Panda had created a legacy that survives today in full glory. On special days during the worship of Lord Jagannath, Gotipua boys are specially invited to perform. Acrobatics constitutes a major part of the dance form. Earlier, the kings of Puri used to sponsor gymnasiums for the development of the body language ideal for dancers. Gurus like Shottopira Palai, who are also the chief singers, take particular note of the physical composition during the rehearsals, so that the final performance presents an acrobatic array in addition to the act of worship. It seemed a wonder to us how the boys could take the immense strain. Yet they never miss a smile or the humor and the laughter. Guru Lakshman's disciples were enjoying lunch. Food was simple: rice, dal, and some bland vegetables. There are hardly any toilets in the village. The boys bathe in the river every day. The stark living conditions obviously do not leave any mark on the playful young minds. But the grim reality has not escaped the attention of the Government of India. The Ministry of Rural Development has come forward to remodel the situation here. They have authorized the Eastern Zonal Cultural Center to act as the implementing agency for the revival and the revitalization of dying folk and performing arts in the country. A non-government organization has been put into service to do the field work for the Awareness and Improvement Program. The Gurus are true legislators here. The legacy they carry seems to be flawless. Music, dress and makeup often are scrupulously repetitive. Moreover, the Gurus operate individually. They are not interested in sharing profits or losses with groups other than their own. Changing perspectives of time does not seem to affect or impress them.
हमारा जो परंपरा है इसको हम इस घर में जैसे पैदा हुआ है, हमारा परंपरा को हमको रखना चाहिए, इसलिए हम काम करते हैं।
किंतु परंपरा रखने के लिए तो और भी चीज़ चाहिए, पैसा चाहिए,
हाँ, वो तो पैसा,
कॉन्टैक्ट चाहिए, पब्लिक रिलेशंस चाहिए, ये सब क्या करते हैं बताइए?
जी वो लोग तो हम अभी EZCC के साथ इंक्लूड हुए हैं, फिर उड़ीसा कल्चर के साथ, संगीत नाटक एकेडमी के साथ हम अभी इंक्लूड हुए हैं।
अच्छा, आपको रोल क्या है इसमें?
हम इसको ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं।
ये जो थीम जो आप लोग चूज करता है, कौन चूज करता है?
थीम
कौन
तो
थीम के ऊपर होगा? रासलीला होगा कि रावण वध होगा कि हनुमान का लंका जय होगा?
ना, गोटीपुओ में जो ओडिसी होता है, ओडिसी में तो जो हमारा ट्रेडिशनल है तो राधा कृष्ण का हो या जो भंजे का हो, वही हम ट्रेडिशनल जो आइटम है इसको लेकर हम चूज करते हैं। इसको ट्रेडिशनल स्टोरी जो हमारा उड़ीसा में है, इंडिया में है, इसको लेकर हम चूज करते हैं।
अब म्यूजिक में भी आप ट्रेडिशनल फ्लेवर ही रखते हैं, कोई मॉडर्न म्यूजिक नहीं?
नो,
कीबोर्ड नहीं बजाता?
कुछ नहीं, जो पखाओ, जो मंजीरा, जो मर्दल, जो हारमोनियम, वही फ्लूट, वही ही हम यूज करते हैं।
हारमोनियम फ्लूट का इफेक्ट तो कीबोर्ड में भी होने सकता है, अब तो जानते
नहीं
हैं।
नहीं, हम लोग जो ट्रेडिशनल है हमें वही रखना चाहते हैं और कुछ नहीं।
भव सिंधु जले पूर्णे उठिला तनुज शासने सृष्टि विलोपिला.
An offer has been made to all the groups to unite and to follow systems like keeping proper records of expenses and earnings, the opening of bank accounts and other financial procedures. But the task is not that easy.
नंदिनी गणेश जननी जय मा देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता.
आप जो ओडिसी देख रहे हैं वो एक डेवलपमेंट है गोटीपुआ का. उसमें वही स्थायी नृत्य होता है, सभा प्रणाम होता है जिसको मंगलाचरण बोला जाता है, बाटू नृत्य होता है जो ओडिसी में भी होता है. उसका ओडिसी एक डेवलपमेंट रूपांतरित है और उसमें पल्लवी होता है, उसमें अभिनय होता है और एक बात होता है जिसको हम बोलते हैं बंधन नृत्य. बंधन नृत्य एक विशेष महत्वपूर्ण स्थान है जो छोटे बच्चे को बनाया जाता था. एक्चुअली सेना के लिए गोटीपुआ बहुत काम आते थे. गोटीपुआ ही एक बहुत बड़ा आर्मी ट्रूप बना सकते थे और बहुत महत्वपूर्ण. जो बंध नृत्य जो करता था उसका कोई जो नहीं उसको जो नर्व डिजीज कोई जिंदगी भर नहीं होता था और वो फिजिकली बहुत स्ट्रांग होते थे और ताल लय उनका मोरल पावर भी डेवलप करता था. इसी हिसाब से वो डेवलप होते थे.
Many Gotipoa artists eventually graduate to Odissi, but there are masters like Guru Maguni Das who have remained loyal to the dance form and who are trying their best to continue with a tradition.
ये जो माने आम पाखरु जो माने केलुचड़ महापात्र गंगापधर एमान सब गोटीपुआ तो नाचुले. एमाने गोटीपुआ नाचिके ओडिसी नाच कले से सब अलग अलग प्रकार काम कले. किंतु मु आ गोटीपुआ को छाड़बार प्रश्न ना. मु गोटीपुआ को रखिली. से गोटीपुआ को रखी से गोटीपुआ मान को नाच शिखे से आस्ते 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 से 2टा 4टा 6टा एमती बढ़ी बढ़ी 10टा 15टा 20टा पर्यंत एने भी नाच कर सबुआड़े बुढ़ी
ताकड़ तक हम ताहा ताता हम थे ताकड़ तक हम ताहा ताता हम थे ताकड़ तक हम ताहा ताता हम थे ताकड़ तक
Our journey to Raghurajpur would be incomplete without a peep into its world of visual art. All the walls of the village homes are designed beautifully. Through the shades, you can see the shriveled old hands of the artisans, shaping up the faces of the Lord, drawing images in fluorescent shades of red, yellow, green, black, and other basic colors. Everybody in the village seems to be an artist. In fact, visual art is the only profession apart from Gotipua pursued either by choice or by compulsion. The paintings that we saw were based mainly on religious stories and myths. Lord Jagannath is the abiding force. Also prominent are Krishna Leela stories.
स्टोरी को आम पुराण को लेकिन आम स्टोरी तैयारी करूँ
पुराण तो बहुत अच्छी थी
हाँ सब पुराण आम पढ़ू पढ़ी जो ସାର ଅଂଶ ଯେଉଁ ବିଷୟବସ୍ତୁକୁ ନେଇକରି ଆମେ ଯାହା କରିବୁ ସେଇଆକୁ ନେଇକରି ଚିନ୍ତା କରୁ ତାରି ଉପରେ।
Techniques are ancient. The brush is made out of rat's hair. The canvas is generally prepared out of used cloth. The surface is then treated with a piece of stone for achieving the required smoothness. Paints are prepared out of herbs, and a special kind of juice extracted from trees act as binders. Nowadays, chemical colors are also used, but their longevity and their sheen is unfortunately far less. Alongside painting, the artists are now trying out sculpture, and palm leaf drawing. But their business and their marketing mechanisms are the same with any form of artistic expression. Pottochitras originated in the region at a time when a demand was created for replicas of the Lord Jagannath images. Local artisans resorted to indigenous methods to do the job and slowly started earning a living out of it. Over the years, individual artists indeed have made it big, both in Gotipoa dance and Pottochitras. Octogenarian Guru Magoni Das is a national awardee. His troupe has been travelling far and wide. Young artists like Basant Maharana and Lakshman Swine are also making trips abroad. Painter Ananta Maharana of the village of Dondoshahi, next door to Raghurajpur, is a much acclaimed maestro.
ମୁଁ 15 ବର୍ଷ ଠାରୁ ये चित्र काम धरली आमर तो होगी परंपरा आम बाप गोठी बाप एमती काम करते आम तू शिखिकी नाम करूँ
आपनकर ओडिशा गवर्नमेंट और दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट संगे कौन संपर्कटा अछि
सब सब काम ऑर्डर फॉर्डर मिले आपर प्राइज भी पाई ललित कला एकाडेमी रू पाई दिल्ली रू पाई मेरिट अवार्ड 3-4 प्रकार अवार्ड मिली।
Schools are run by the masters, but here again the efforts are restricted to individual endeavor. Attempts are being made to create self-help groups among painters. so that they can collectively excel, expose, and market their products. At the moment, they sell paintings individually or through a middleman who takes a lion's share of the proceeds as a commission. Outlets will be created when they would sell on their own at rates fixed by the group and make a reasonable profit. EZCC holds public performances of Gotipua dance all around the year. In one such event, the dancers performed against the backdrop of blown-up Potachitros. The gestures, designed by the artists, often inspire the dance composers. Artists also get clues for drawing from the body language of dancers. The idea behind bringing the two forms of art closer is to create a collective awareness, a sense of association which definitely is going to integrate the artists in the days to come. Youngsters in the region are taking up Gotipua and Potachitro in huge numbers. Not only the boys, the girls too are joining in. An escape from poverty is the cardinal factor for them. Once living conditions improve, the pursuit of excellence can begin. Gayatri was so overjoyed to see her mother that she started performing an item at the corner of their dingy hut. Gayatri's mother suffers the agony of separation from her child. Beneath her tearful eyes, she sees the silver lining that one day, maybe someday, Gayatri will be a successful professional and will bring happiness, prosperity and light to their dark family home. The Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, and the Eastern Zonal Cultural Centre are jointly trying to extend all sorts of infrastructural and artistic support so that these folk art forms flourish under improved economic conditions.